God. Focus with me now. Focus. Yes, this is the page. This is the page that, yes, focus with me. Look at all the settings. Oh my goodness. So Dr. Sammy, if the whiteboard doesn't appear for you, I'm going to click on the word whiteboard. Whiteboard. What do I write here? Oh, look. Anything that's closed like that won't show up. Anything opens will show up. For example, what is chatting? So if chatting comes and you don't have high chatting, this is open because there's a chat. But if you close it, then you won't have a chat. Got it? All the settings are there. But if you close it, you will not have any chat. Okay. All the settings are there. The whiteboard will start and everything. The host, the metrics and cues and all the surveys. The survey is closed. The survey is closed. Did you notice something, guys? When we were on Zoom, let's go back to another Zoom here. When we go back to the second Zoom, there wasn't a survey. So that's closed. This situation will show up on the Zoom page. I have arranged to meet with Sammy at a convenient time. And together, we will ensure that you have the freedom and flexibility to take as much time as you need to thoroughly examine and review the whiteboard. We want to make sure you are comfortable and have all the necessary information before proceeding. The whiteboard. You will find here that it says whiteboard. Here is the whiteboard. Do you see the whiteboard? If this is open, then the whiteboard is available. If it's closed, then the whiteboard is not available. I hope everything is clear to everyone. I hope everything is clear to everyone. Here, through this app allows me to see my schedule right away. And this is the lecture. The lecture for the current time that is running fine. The thing that is available, or the thing that is working fine in it. I have the available lectures here. This is the computer science lecture. I want to enter the lecture. I want to, for example, the lecture for tomorrow, the lecture for the day after, you can access all the lectures and new things through this same app. But the most important thing in this whole story is to get on Zoom because it completely controls everything. You can't show the closed ones in Zoom, meaning there are a lot of things in this Zoom. There are a lot of things in the guide. You see, there are open things and closed things, so you can open those closed items. There's something called break code room, which means if you want to divide the students into groups, you can split them into group requests. There are a lot of things you can control through the language as well. There are really many things. The virtual images, these images here, do you remember the images I told you to make as background images that will be behind you? This image should be your background. While you're explaining, you can choose specific backgrounds or add backgrounds or a dollar word. Of course, it's a very big topic, the topic of complete control. Complete control, so as you can see, you can have a lot of control over Zoom and that kind of stuff. Let's go back to our screen and let's return to our window. Pay attention now. Do you remember what I opened, guys? I opened here. Look, first. So what did you start with? This is the share screen. Okay, so what is it called? What's left? So any reactions? All right. Any comments, guys? Is everything clear for you? Is everything okay? So the next task is important, guys. It's important. Indeed, Dr. Nawala, Dr. Horia, and Dr. Walid, you should be aware of the settings because sometimes when you open Zoom, you might not find a specific tool. For example, this chat tool doesn't exist. This security tool doesn't exist. This video tool doesn't exist. You'll say no to it. And my Zoom is not missing anything, right? The idea is that in the settings, someone has locked that part for you so you can control it. Maybe a tool like the notes tool is not available, so I can lock it and then give it to the students to put their notes. They can add notes and I can open it for them. All right, there's something important called reaction. What is this reaction, Dr. Sammy? If I click on the action, sometimes someone wants to clap, say, okay, object, cry, or doesn't know what to do. Students put notes in their notes and put notes or things like this. They can put notes and words like this and open them to the students and things like this, okay? So, to not take too long, there's something very important called reaction. What is this reaction, Dr. Sammy? This reaction, if I click on the action like this, play, or whatever, sometimes, it might be that someone wants to clap. someone says, okay, someone might object to something, someone is crying, someone doesn't know what to do, and so on. And if I want to raise my hand, the word reaction is, as you can see, I raised my hand to alert the teacher that I want to make a comment or something like that. And if I want to raise my hand, the word reaction is, as you can see, I raised my hand to alert the teacher that I want to make a comment or something like that. I want to remind you, as long as the students tell me, not to just jump in and speak. No, raise your hand. And I allow you to enter. These are very important matters. There is something very important. There are more things than 4 important things. First of all, right now, the lecture is not being recorded because the first thing I need to do when I enter is to record. Why? I record on the computer and upload it, or I record on the cloud so that the whole university or all the students can see it. I prefer the cloud because if the lecture isn't recorded, it's a bigger loss for the professor, as the professor won't be able to explain the lecture. We are an academic institution. Why? I record on the computer and upload it, or I record on the cloud so that the whole university or all the students can see it. I prefer the cloud because if the lecture isn't recorded, it's a bigger loss for the professor, as the professor won't be able to explain the lecture. We are an academic institution, and the academic institution, as soon as the lecture starts, you should record it. So go to More and start pressing the Record to Cloud button. So I'm now at the stage of starting the cloud recording. Why is the recording important, everyone? Because it's my right to deliver a lecture, as sometimes the dean of the college comes and says, the online supervisor you have in the college, excuse me. One day, someone was in it. They want to make sure that the foundation has attended his lectures. So the dean also asked the electronic education supervisor within the college, who can see who has entered and who hasn't entered. If you have recorded your lectures, it will show in the system that you delivered a lecture, right? If you haven't recorded, it won't show up and you will lose your right. All right. The second point is to either raise your hand or record on the computer. If you're not recording, it won't show up when you're like this. You lost your right. All right. The second point is to either raise your hand or record on the computer. And I opened the links and told him these are the links that exist. When he entered your page, he found the sign up links.